Okay, I got something that I want to talk about right off the top.
Talk about it.
Listen to this headline. MLB outfielder Juan Soto signed a 15-year, $765 million contract to join the New York Mets, marking the largest contract in professional sports history. This deal has zero deferments, meaning that Soto is going to be paid the same amount of money for each year of his contract. So they can't push it back. Mickey
Loomis style.
Mickey Loomis style. And this also includes incentives that can reach above $800 million. $765 million? MLB is crazy.
That's
There's
not
no
real
salary
money.
cap.
That is not real money.
That's not real money. Shohei Ohtani just signed a 10-year, $700 million deal with the LA Dodgers last winter. Now the Dodgers went and won the World Series, so that looks pretty smart right now. But 97% of Ohtani's salary is being deferred for 10 years.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get 97% of his salary until the contract's over.
Yep.
They're paying him a chunk of
All the
change
money.
every single year. The New York Yankees even sent Soto a competitive offer, 16 years, $760 million deal with an average annual salary of $47.5 million and no deferrals. But he declined that because he wanted more money over one less year.
Yeah.
But crazy. Just think about that money. Compared to NFL nobody could ever sign a deal like that.
No.
This dude, Juan Soto, is 26 years old. Now
He's a good ball player.
He is a good ball player.
He's a really
he was
good
just
ball
on the
player.
Yankees team that made it to the World Series.
Yeah.
Really came on, played a big part late in the season.
Yeah.
But $765 million, and he gets all of it. I'm pretty sure baseball contracts are all guaranteed.
Pretty much. And basketball.
Shelling it out, man.
This is such a Mets move. This is
Dude.
going to blow up in their face so bad somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year. Maybe not next year. Maybe not the year after.
But for
But
15 years, you're locked in.
Yeah,
paying this
exactly.
guy. I don't even know. I didn't even do the division, but it's like $50 million a year, I want to say.
yeah, something like that is insane.
Alexa, what's 765 divided by
And Juan Soto. He's got good wood, He's a good ball
$51 million
player.
a year?
51?
Now, I know that some football players get paid that, but that's including incentives. They got to do this and this and this. They also have to stay healthy because basically most of the deals signed in the NFL, 60% is guaranteed.
Yeah, typically.
Unless you're Deshaun Watson, and that worked out pretty well for the Browns.
Yeah.
But wow, I just saw that headline and I was like, I know we don't really cover baseball, not baseball guys, but damn,
That
700,
is unbelievable.
largest contract in professional sports history,
My.
and he gets all of it, possibly up to $800 million. Yeah, yeah.
Take me out to the ball game.
It's not about the money. We don't need your money. We just want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Yeah.
Yeah, forget about all the price tags.
Damn.
Goodness gracious. MLB's wild. Only for that reason.
Make a salary cap.
Yeah, seriously. I'm surprised the Yankees didn't get him just because the Yankees.
These New York teams, they make a lot of money, so they can just shell out money.
True. Good point. Yep. But we don't care about MLB right now.
Nope.
Because this is football season.
Yes, it is.
And this right here is episode 60. It's Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. I'm here with Kean Crop, two-man crew today. And we're going to hit on some college football playoff predictions because that's all ready to go now. Not this coming week, but the week after.
Yeah, bracket is set.
Bracket's set. And then we'll be hitting the Week 15 preview for the NFL. So let's get into talking some CFP. B. Football.
Yeah.
CFB. College football playoffs.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. So, as far as who's in the dance, let's go right there first.
Give us the seeds.
The seeds. Starting at number 12, we got Clemson sneaking into number 12. Sitting at 11, we have SMU, the Mustangs. And then number 10, we got Indiana. And then number 9, Tennessee. 8, Ohio State. 7, Notre Dame. And then 6, Penn State. 5, Texas?
Texas.
Yeah, Texas. Number 4, Arizona State. Number 3, Boise State and the Ashton Genty-led Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Georgia. Number 1, Oregon, up there in the top left corner of the U.S. So, how do we want to do this first? We want to talk about misses?
Yeah, talk about who was very close to getting in but kind of got shafted.
Kind of got the short end of the stick because of Clemson.
Won the ACC. Yeah.
So first, Alabama. That's obviously a big talking point because they came on late and they ended up 9-3.
Yeah, still a 3-loss team.
Yeah, still a 3-loss team.
Just like Clemson is, but the games that Alabama won against bigger, tougher SEC schools were like
Georgia.
They had some more impressive wins than Clemson ever did this season. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we could talk about Miami. They were a 2-win team where they were really hot too and probably had a big say in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cam Ward has been playing great football. Was he a Heisman finalist? They came out with the Heisman finalists. Stalling. Because I know it was Dylan Gabriel.
Yep.
It was Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, of course.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one was Cam Ward. Yeah.
Okay.
So Heisman finalist. He's been playing great offensively. It's just that the team, 2-loss team in a weaker ACC conference where they didn't even make the conference championship. So.
Right. And then another SEC team, Ole Miss, Jackson Dart. Yeah, another 3-loss team that could have made an argument also. And then South Carolina, another SEC team.
Yeah, they had really, really been putting it on to finish out the season. Ole Miss and South Carolina both had 3 losses on the season, but South Carolina had won. This is 6 in a row. Here, they beat Oklahoma, crushed them, crushed Texas A&M, crushed Vanderbilt, barely beat Missouri by 4, crushed Wofford, and then beat Clemson.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they would have made some noise. Those are the main teams that are like the close misses that probably could be mad about not getting in there.
Yeah.
And then even BYU could make a case. They were a 2-loss team in the Big 12, and Iowa State, but they lost. So there was no chance of them getting in, even though they were really, really good this year.
They were.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the only reason, we kind of touched on it last episode, but the only reason Clemson's even in there is because they won. Mm-hmm. Clearly, obviously.
Yeah.
But then as far as who would have got in after that, I honestly think it probably would have been Alabama just because of who they beat.
Yep.
But my pick after that probably would have been South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's who probably I think should have deserved to go in if
agree.
Clemson didn't get in there.
I agree. Yeah, ESPN released the college football playoff rankings. So if you go onto their website, it shows where they're ranked, basically. Like top 25, it still shows, and it shows the seeds. Like you see, Alabama's ranked 11th, and they didn't make it into the playoff because number 16, Clemson, made it in as the 12th seed because they won the ACC and are guaranteed a spot in there. But yeah, Miami's at 13, Ole Miss at 14, and South Carolina at 15.
Yeah. It's
all above Clemson.
Yeah, all above Clemson. It's tricky. I mean, we knew there would be pissed off people and teams and all that, even with 12-team playoff. Mm-hmm. There's going to be someone that gets short end of the stick, but that's what makes college football. Mm-hmm. Makes good playoffs. So let's get into talking about our picks for this game. So we picked our 2 finalists and who we ultimately think the winner is going to be, and I'll preface it just with this could all change due to injury. Because, like, for example, Carson Beck right now is unsure if he'll play because he's got an elbow injury, UCL injury, but he doesn't play for a week and a half at this point.
Weeks.
Yeah, or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, they have a first-round bye. Georgia does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, almost 3 weeks or so. So he doesn't play for a while, so he could be perfectly good to go, or he couldn't be perfectly good to go. We don't really know yet. It's kind of tricky with this. It's different this year, obviously, but it's different because these 4 teams have a first-round bye. So it makes it kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then it's also going to be awesome because these 4 first games coming up next week have a home advantage.
They do.
Which is going to be electric to watch, let alone be there. But yeah.
Yeah, we want to go down through each of the teams who kind of made it and just give a little short summary of how their season has gone and
so we'll start at 12. We'll talk about the number 12 seed. We kind of touched on it a little bit, but Clemson, they snuck in there. They were obviously a good team, but they're still ranked 16 now. They lost to some teams that they probably shouldn't have, and they didn't really have the dominating wins that some of the other teams that are still ranked ahead of them had. But
they got crushed by Georgia week 1, 34-3. Then they lost to Louisville, 33-21, and then, as I said, they lost to South Carolina in a close one.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah, so But they ended up winning the ACC championship, and that's how it works. You win and get in, and they snuck into that 12. Number 11, the SMU Mustangs.
Yeah, the Mustangs. I'm really impressed by this team. They're ranked 10. They're the 11th seed, but they're ranked 10th. They put on more of a show than any of us ever could have thought. I mean, SMU of all teams. Come on. Some people don't even know what SMU stands for. It's Southern Methodist University. They're down in Texas. They're part of the ACC. And I have never seen an SMU team this good. Kevin Jennings on the offensive side, quarterback, is really putting up a good fight, moving this offense like crazy. No big-name receivers to speak of, but Brashard Smith is the train that chug-a-lug-lugs this offense along. Number 6 running back on the year according to PFF, breaking tackles like crazy. And then the defense. The defense I ranted and raved about last episode. Just a ton of pressure that they've created along the defensive line. Their safeties are playing incredible.
Very.
They're going to be a tough out for Penn State for sure.
Yeah, 100%. They are well deserving of that spot. Number 10, Indiana University, led by Coach Sig.
Yeah, Coach Sig.
Yeah, they've been just incredibly hot this year. Quarterback Rourke, he's had a really good year this year. And
they're a one-loss team.
Yeah, one-loss team, which there aren't many of these guys that actually are one-loss team. The one-loss teams that are in there are Indiana and Boise State, which we'll talk about, and Notre Dame, but we'll talk about them in a minute. But yeah, Indiana University, they've just been on an absolute tear this year.
Yeah, Coach Sig brought a lot of his guys from, where did he come from? James Madison?
James
Madison, and to a big Big Ten school, and man, it worked. It worked. Elijah, I don't want to mess up his name. Yeah, Elijah Surratt. I was correct. Yeah, he came from JMU with him, as well as Tyson Lawson, number 2 rusher. Elijah Surratt is the number 1 receiver on this team. He's been great. Curtis Rourke, as Cody said, out of Canada.
Canada.
He's been great. Guys along this defense that he brought as well have also performed great. Just the vibes around Indiana are better than anybody could have ever expected.
Coach Sig brings a whole new culture.
Yeah,
a true winning culture, and it's proven.
It is.
Number 9, Tennessee, led by
Kurt
Iamaleava. That's
Kurt. Nico.
Yeah.
Nico Iamaleava. This team this year has been kind of very up and down. There are games where, like, talked about it in past weeks, but Tennessee's offense is always known for being very big play, chuck the ball down the field. Yeah. This year it hasn't exactly worked like that. I mean, they've still just grinded out wins. Sure, they lost to Arkansas. Sure, they lost to Georgia, but they also beat some pretty good teams like Alabama. They crushed Vanderbilt. They beat NC State back whenever they were ranked. They crushed Oklahoma as well. This team is no slouches, and even though they've kind of been struggling on the offensive side of the ball at times,
they're young on the offensive side of the ball.
Nico is freshman.
Yep.
And Dylan Sampson, one of the best running backs in the entire country this year.
Yeah, easily.
He's been playing very, very well. So this is, again, not an easy out, but it sucks who they're going to be playing against, who we're going to be talking about next.
The number 8 seed, Little Ohio State. Yeah. They're a pretty good football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just... To be ranked number 8, it's really because they lost to Michigan, as they have been doing for like 3 years
they can't
or more.
Beat them.
No, they can't beat Michigan. It's their kryptonite. But Ohio State is a very, very good team. If we think back to a game, for example, that they played against Oregon, where they probably should have won that game.
Yeah, they should have.
And that's just kind of Ohio in a nutshell. Like they should have won, but they're still an incredible team.
They are.
They're going to be a really, really tough out in this whole playoff. They've, of course, been really good all year. It's just kind of everything's kind of probably overshadowed everything great they did because of just that loss to Michigan. Just because that's what happens. But they're stud running back.
2 stud running backs.
Yeah, 2 stud running
Travion
backs.
Henderson and Quinshawn Judkins. Both these guys are going to be drafted in the first 3 rounds.
Yep.
They have the best freshman wide receiver in the nation, Jeremiah Smith. Will Howard, transfer from Kansas State. He's been doing what he has to at
Right.
most times.
Just letting his playmakers make plays.
Yeah, this team's going to have a ton of guys drafted. They
Have
honestly
a really good defense,
yes,
like always.
Always. Honestly, they deserve to be seated higher, but
Yeah.
because they got that second loss, I mean, I can see why they're seated this low.
Yep. Number 7, Notre Dame.
It's
Independent school.
Dude, it's 2024. Get these guys in a conference.
Seriously, at this point, yeah.
Like, if we want, I don't know. You never know what to take away from Notre Dame because the best school they played this year, let's see, Texas A&M turned out to be not very good, but they're the best school that they played this year.
Oh, okay.
You can maybe argue Navy, Army, USC. Like, it's...
No
I don't
big
know.
studs.
Yeah, because they can make their own schedule. They're not forced into any conference games. I know that maybe NCAA doesn't have like a say in forcing them into a conference because they probably would have done it by now. But Notre Dame, they did only lose one game, so
Right.
they're still playing Division I football. Only lost one game. But Riley Leonard, if he can just stay, he can just not turn the ball.
Yeah, I was
over.
going to say, if he can play smart,
Yes, if
then
he can just
they're in good shape.
Exactly. Yeah, because Jeremiah Love is like one of the leaders in rushing touchdowns this season. He's had one like every single game for some crazy Christian McCaffrey like streak. But yeah, if Riley Leonard can just not turn the ball over and just let Marcus Freeman work with his defense, they can.
That's going to be their only shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about your Penn State.
Yeah,
Nittany
number
Lions.
6, Penn State Nittany Lions. They were lucky enough to, well, for one, they played a really good game against Oregon in the Big Ten Championship. So they were luckily awarded with a home game in this first round, which is going to be huge to play down in Happy Valley for this first round. Penn State being up at 6, they've been up there all year. A lot of people have joked about, including us, we've joked about Penn State's just falling into higher positions because of all the other teams more or less eating each other. And but I think that loss against Oregon was almost a win for them because it proved they can hang with the big guns. Like they aren't gonna. They looked better against Oregon than they did Ohio State a few weeks back. So I think Penn State has quite a bit in the tank with Drew Aller. I think he's proven that he can do enough if he doesn't continue to turn the ball over.
Yes.
He struggled with that against Oregon. But the rest of the season, he's been pretty good about it. So if he can get back to more of their regular offensive work, like Kean went into a lot of detail last episode about some of the questionable decisions they made. So if they can get back to Penn State football that they've done all year that have got them into this position, then they should be in good shape because they've got 2 stud running backs in Katron Allen and Nick Singleton. And then their receivers, they got studs out there too. That not kind of overshadowed by their running backs.
Warren.
Yeah, Tyler Warren, the tight end. So I think they got enough, and obviously Penn State's incredible defense. That's what really got them here is they ride in the backs of their defense. But if their offense can keep up at all with who they're playing, their defense is seemingly never wavers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Unless they're playing Oregon.
Oregon, yeah. But that's been everyone this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, number 5, we got Texas.
Yeah, talked about it last episode. Quinn Ewers, very experienced quarterback. He stayed for his senior year here, and he's seen all kinds of playmakers leave his side. Bijan Robinson, Roshan Johnson, Jonathan Brooks,
Xavier
Worthy, Jatavian Sanders, forgot to mention him last episode, Adonai Mitchell. All these guys left him, and Quinn Ewers just year after year, after losing all these guys, other guys step up, and he helps them step up, and he just gets them the ball and doesn't turn the ball over, just makes good decisions, even though he makes bad decisions with his hair. He's got like a bowl cut thing going on. Looks bad.
Yeah.
And
he even got injured this year, and he came back from injury and still playing well.
Yes, he is. Texas, and their defense is even showing up.
Their defense is incredible.
Their defense has shown up the past few weeks. I mean, obviously, they're always known for their offense, and Quinn Ewers. But Texas ranked at 5th. But in that SEC, because they didn't win that SEC championship game, they kind of suffer, go down to 5, and don't get that first round bye like Georgia does. But Texas is no slouches. Don't put it past you. They're ranked 3rd right now, even though they're the 5 seed.
Yeah, they're an incredible team. Number 4, we're getting into our first bye week, people. Number 4, we got Arizona State University.
I love Arizona State.
I
man.
love this team.
Cam Scattaboo.
Yep.
That's it. That's all you
Yeah,
can say.
pretty much, yeah.
Sam Levitt is doing everything. He's making all the right passes, making the right moves. Kenny Dillingham has this team.
They're buzzing.
He has this team by at the tip of his finger. They do everything that he says. They're fiery just like he is. Cam Scattaboo is playing with a chip on his shoulder because he was overlooked. I don't even know if he was ever even a 1-star recruit. He might have even been a walk. I don't know his story.
Yeah.
Sorry, but everybody's going to know his story here pretty soon. Because
Very soon, if they don't already from last week.
seriously,
in the show
Arizona
he put
State
on.
is amazing.
Yeah, they're a really good team. Number 3, we got Boise State and the Ashton Genty Broncos.
Yeah.
Yep, Ashton Genty.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, we could all make predictions about where shoulda, coulda, woulda. Where would they be if they didn't have Ashton Genty and probably 500 team?
Yeah, that's obvious.
You see the records that this guy's breaking.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We are witnessing
Literally
history.
never been done before.
Yeah, we're witnessing history here, and we all just need to
Take it in.
Yeah, take it in, not take it for granted, because Ashton Genty is carrying this offense, carrying this team, and I'm excited to see how far he can carry them, because this is the big dogs now.
Yep, they got the big teams. Number 2, we got Georgia. I kind of talked about Carson Beck a little bit. They got that little injury scare, so we don't know what's going on there, but he's got time to recover. But before all this, they've had a few weird losses here and there. I think they lost to Alabama.
They did
early in the year.
Overtime game.
Yeah, an overtime game. So they had a few little flukes here and there.
They also lost to Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
That was the other loss.
Yeah, and then so there have been a few scares there, and they've had, I think, some closer games thrown
Georgia
in there.
Tech.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, they took to 8 overtimes to beat them. So they've had some not injury scares, but some close games that maybe feel like they shouldn't have been close games. But Kirby Smart's always got these boys buzzing. He's got the dogs rolling, and their defense is playing out of their mind right now, especially in that SEC championship. It was a defensive battle, and Georgia won out in overtime against Texas. So if they keep this momentum like they've had, they're going to be they could be up there in the end, and they could very well be holding that trophy if they keep it up.
They need Carson. They need Carson Beck.
They need Carson Beck
because he's got the experience there in the big games.
They're rookie, or not rookie, but their
Freshman.
backup, I think sophomore, I figured out.
yeah.
Gunnar Stockton. He held up.
He did.
He definitely held up, but unfortunately, he's no Carson Beck. He doesn't have the experience yet, so that would make it way tougher, for sure. But we'll see what happens with Georgia. And our 1 rank, obviously, Oregon, the university, not the state university. They're just all facets, starting with the coach, ending with the special teams.
Love Dan Lanning.
Yeah, Dan Lanning is fiery, and he's got the boys wrapped around his finger, like you said. They're just all on the same page. Culture seems great. Their whole offense is clicking. Their whole defense is clicking. Their special teams is making plays. It's just they're one of the most dominant teams in college football, and hasn't been a question all year. They lost 1?
Lost none.
Yeah, lost none. They're the only no-loss team.
Best offense in the nation. Defense, we'll see now that they're playing big dogs here, but best offense in the nation. And as an Oregon fan, I am more excited than I've ever been, man.
Yeah.
I'm
It's looking good with the new transfer, Dylan Gabriel.
I was kind of scared. He's no Bo Nix. Let me just say that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's
Bo
a different
Nix,
player.
But he is able to move this offense and work this system, so.
Yeah.
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks!
All right. Let's make our...
yeah. So we'll start. They kind of got this bracket split. So on one side, we got Ohio State, Tennessee are going to be playing each other, and Texas, Clemson are going to be playing each other. And then that's going to lead to Tennessee, Oregon are going to play. Oh, jeez. Let me restart. Rewind.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Ohio State are going to play. That moves to playing Oregon. And then Oregon will move on to play the bottom of the bracket. The bottom of the bracket is Texas, Clemson. They're going to move to play Arizona State. Winner of that game will play next. And then on the opposite side, we got Indiana versus Notre Dame and Penn State versus SMU. Indiana, Notre Dame will move to Georgia. Penn State, SMU will move to Boise State. and then so on and so forth. So I'm going to start with what we'll call the first side of the bracket, the left side of the bracket, whatever. I can't help but pick Oregon to go all the way in that side. I so badly wanted to pick Arizona State.
I know.
So badly. But I kind of have a feeling that Texas is going to win against Clemson.
Yep. Spoiler.
Yeah, and then I really want Arizona State to beat Texas.
Oh, I know.
But I cannot go against the experience of Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
That's what kills it for me. And then Texas against Oregon. I think Oregon's going to win. They just have too much firepower. Texas has a lot, but Oregon has even more. And Oregon's got better vibes by the feeling of it right now. And I like their coach a little better. And I think Oregon's going to take that side of the bracket.
I'm with you there. I also picked Oregon to win this side of the bracket. But I got to say, this side of the bracket is tougher because Texas scares me. Arizona State even scares me.
Ohio State
scares me. Those three teams are all possibilities.
Some of the biggest hitters.
Yes.
Probably the biggest hitters in this bracket.
Yeah, Ohio State's playing angry right now because they just lost to Michigan, and everybody's kind of like, ha, you lost. But, like, we should know that they went toe-to-toe with Oregon, and Oregon just barely won on a Jeremiah Smith accidental DPI or OPI. So yeah. I'm very scared if Ohio State beats Tennessee, which I kind of expect that they will. That's Oregon's first game is against Ohio State, a rematch. Luckily in Eugene.
That'll help.
Yeah, but I also picked Oregon just 13-0, baby.
Yeah, it's hard to not pick them right
fundamentally sound.
Yep. On the other side of the bracket, I got Penn State going all the way. Mm-hmm. This might be because Carson Beck might be injured or hobbled.
Uh-huh.
But I think Penn State's got a legit shot because Penn State's got to first go up against SMU. Mm-hmm. I love SMU, but I think Penn State's defense is going to win out.
Yeah.
And then they are going to move on to Boise State. And we talked about it. Boise State, Ashton Gentis is what they are. And I think Penn State, Ashton Gentis is going to get his yards.
Yes, he will.
Obviously. Mm-hmm. But if they can stop everything else and limit Ashton Gentis a little bit, I think they got a very good chance of winning that game, which will move them on to what I expect to play Georgia because Notre Dame's going to play Indiana. I expect Indiana to win.
Oh.
And then I think Georgia, Indiana. I think Georgia's going to win out even with their backup quarterback.
Oh.
I think they're too.
Yeah.
I love Coach Sig and the Indiana boys, but I like Kirby Smart too. He's an incredible coach and knows how to coach the boys, and their defense is really good. So I think Georgia will win out. Then Georgia, Penn State. I think Penn State could take it. Mm-hmm. And then Penn State, Oregon rematch of this past week. I'll save that till you make your pick from that side of the bracket.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't make this any different, but I'm also going Penn State to win this side of the bracket. This side of the bracket, I know nothing is easy. We're in the playoffs now, but possibility that Penn State could be playing Georgia without Carson Beck.
Yes.
And see, now if Carson Beck, if I knew that he was for sure going to be healthy, and I would pick Georgia to win this side of the bracket.
Me as well.
But I think that Penn State beats SMU. I think SMU is just too inexperienced right now. They're kind of playing – they are playing very well. I've already highlighted that. But I think they're playing –
they're young.
They're ahead of their toes right now. They're going to fall forward on their face. Boise State, as you just said, if you can just out-duel Ashton Gentis with like a full offense, I mean, they're only going to run the ball basically, Boise State. So you're not going to stop them. You just got to out-duel them. And then – Notre Dame, Riley Leonard's so inconsistent. Indiana, I'm scared of them winning big games. I think the Penn State pulls it out and gets to the finals. And so tell me who you think is winning in our agreement of Oregon versus Penn State. Oh,
this one's tough.
A rematch.
I
don't know where this game is.
And that honestly plays a factor to me. Like, they've seen each other. They know how they play. The teams are going to look exactly the same pretty much. Oh, yeah, I am curious where the championship is this year. That could make a difference, but maybe not.
Damn it.
Come on, Google.
I can't type. Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta. Go ahead.
Give me Penn State.
Yeah.
Defend the East Coast. Let's go.
Woo!
That felt gross.
It's tough to beat a team twice.
It is tough to beat a team twice. That's what I'm banging on. Penn State showed me enough against Oregon.
Yeah.
They're making me believe.
You think they can fix their mistakes?
I think enough.
Dual Dan Lanning.
Yeah, I think they might be able to figure out Dylan Gabriel enough. I mean, they were letting Dylan Gabriel do some crazy things and like really win the game, but that felt gross. I'm gonna ride with Penn State. It's not even. It sounds like a homer pick, but really, with their bracket, we kind of explained it. It's not. The finish might be a homer pick a little bit, but
their side of the bracket is very winnable.
Very different from the other side.
Yes,
for sure. I got to ride at Penn State.
I mean, I could definitely see that. Oregon's got kind of more of a gauntlet to get to that point, so maybe they're worn down. Maybe they're a little bit more defeated. Penn State's riding high. Oregon actually gets more tested than they ever have in this college football playoff to get there. So I could definitely see it happening, but I got to ride with Oregon. I mean, it's not exciting, but best offense in the nation. They just blow teams out. Or if they don't blow them out, they're still going to score a ton of points on you. And just hope that their offense can be faster, which they will be. They will be faster than your offense, faster than your defense. Maybe you can get to their defense, but that's all right. We'll score on you in 45 seconds. Your turn. But so I got to go with my Ducks. I'm hoping this is our year, baby. You're hoping this is Penn State's year.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
First time we've ever seen a 12-team playoff. There's a clear path for both of these teams. Path for all these teams, baby. They all got, except for Clemson. F*** you, Clemson.
Yeah, seriously.
Knock that helmet off. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Drew Aller making it to college football playoffs.
You heard it here first.
You're welcome, Penn State folk.
Heard it here first.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be incredibly exciting. But
starting next week.
So, till then, let's get into talking about some NFL. So we'll talk about how we did last week. So those are accurate, huh? Yeah, those are good.
They are accurate.
Yeah. Let's hit the news first, like we always do, going into Week 15, and then we'll go right into our picks. So, Saints quarterback Derek Carr suffered a concussion and a significant fracture in his non-throwing hand in Week 14 and was considered week to week. Now I think he's expected to be out for the year or definitely out for the year.
Yeah, poor Derek Carr, man. He was playing so well with such little talent around him. I was having fun watching him, but I think he's probably just tired of trying to do so much for this offense.
Yeah.
And still barely getting any wins. So he's
there's no point in rushing back.
Yeah.
Causing more injury possibly. Right. Raiders quarterback Aiden O'Connell suffered a bone bruise in his knee in Week 14. Status is uncertain for Week 15.
Second time he's been injured this season. I mean, he has surprisingly been pretty good.
He's serviceable.
Serviceable is the correct word. Thank you. Now it's going to be Desmond Ridder likely. I haven't heard very good things about Aiden O'Connell starting, so we don't know
Raiders
for sure.
Are dead anyways. So
it's Tuesday at the time of this recording, so we don't know for sure. So
for the second time in the past 13 months, Panthers rookie running back Jonathan Brooks suffered a torn ACL to end his rookie season after just 23 snaps over his 3 games, and I think it was his same ACL. Unfortunately,
it's
too bad.
It just sucks for a young running back. I mean, highest drafted running back this past draft class. I mean, we weren't super high on him, but you never wish for anybody to get hurt.
No, definitely
but I mean,
not.
Chuba Hubbard, I questioned it whenever Chuba Hubbard signed a 4-year deal, but it's like, well, now, wow,
makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it just sucks.
It does.
Hopefully, he can get back and make something of his career.
Yeah. Hopefully, he doesn't lose any explosiveness permanently.
Right. Yep. 49ers running back Isaac Grando suffered a foot sprain in Week 14. So the 49ers running back gauntlet just continues.
The 4th running back hurt. It's it sucks. His first I mean, these all kind of suck. These are all terrible news.
Yeah.
First start, he played really well. Big 49ers win. Then he gets hurt. Probably going to miss this week.
Yeah.
But not officially rolled out yet.
No, it's looking rough. The Buccaneers running back Bucky Irving left Week 14 with back tightness.
It sucks.
Yep, it does.
I hope that it's all based on how he feels, is what Todd Bowles has been saying.
Yeah.
So hopefully
get some heat on that back.
Yeah, get some heat on that back. Heal up that hip. I think he's dealing with a calf or ankle injury too.
Everything.
Bucky, get healthy, please. You got to help your Bucks make a playoff run.
We need you, Bucky.
Yeah.
Buccaneers need you. Mm-hmm. The Raiders placed running back Zamir White on season-ending IR for his quad. quad injury.
Yeah, I think he's lost his starting job to Sincere McCormick anyway.
It's looking that way,
Yep.
for sure. Chargers tight end Will Dissly suffered a shoulder injury in Week 14.
Don't know if he'll be back, but he couldn't come back into the game, so that was a bad sign.
Yeah, because he's a pretty big part of that offense this year.
Now it's Stone Smart.
Stone Smart. Cowboys center Cooper Beebe suffered a concussion in Week 14. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, you could just see that. They talked about it on the broadcast. They had to like move some pieces around on the offensive line just to get through the game.
Yeah, I was trying to think of who they moved. Smith.
Yeah, they were.
moved.
I can't even remember who they were putting in center then. As a guy I'd never heard of. So Cowboys are
tough
down
sled.
bad. Yep.
Yeah. And like we talked about, the Cowboys, they've now placed guard Zach Martin on IR. Speaking of moving the dudes around, and
yeah, he might retire. Honestly.
yeah,
great
he's an
career.
older player. Yeah, incredible career. Giants left guard John Runyon and safety rookie Tyler Newman suffered ankle injuries in Week 14.
Yeah,
Giants get worse.
more insult to injury.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. And more insult to injury for the Cowboys. Their linebacker, DeMarvion Overshown, suffered a torn ACL, MCL, and PCL, 3 out of 4, in his right knee in Week 14.
It sucks.
Yeah, that just sucks. He was on a tear.
It was him and Micah who were the like bright shining spots, like especially like for the future of this team, and now gonna have to wait. It's gonna be a long recovery. That's a tough.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Panthers corner J.C. Horn suffered a groin injury in Week 14.
Yeah, and they still almost beat the.
They still almost beat
Eagles.
the yeah.
And this
the
guy
Eagles,
was clearly their best corner, one of the best corners in the league, like top 10 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Buccaneers safety Antoine Winfield Jr. will miss a few games with a knee sprain he suffered in Week 14.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal. Just
yeah.
got a contract over this past offseason, and
yeah,
one of the best safeties in the league when he's healthy.
Once again, sucks.
Yep. Both Packers rookie safeties suffered injuries in Week 14s, and that would be Evan Williams with a concussion and Javon Bullard with an ankle.
Yeah, both these guys have been playing big parts on, especially in the secondary. They were both playing like almost every snap, and now Bullard was in the slot. Evan Williams was like a hard crashing down safety. Now they're down to Xavier McKinney, and that's it.
Yeah, Evan Williams is a whiskey company.
Ooh.
Evan Williams Honey.
I know how you can fix that concussion then. Just
exactly.
Some whiskey.
He should get a deal with them.
Oh, an NIL deal for
he
sure.
should. Yeah. That'd be money.
Yeah.
Saints are signing QB Ben DiNucci.
Yeah.
Where was this guy from? I remember him playing somewhere.
I think he played at James Madison, actually. He might have actually played under Signetti, but he played for the UFL. That's where you remember him from.
Okay, yeah, that's where I remember him from. DiNucci. Panthers.
He also played for the Cowboys.
Okay, that's
for
where.
Stint.
For a very short stint.
Yes.
Yeah. Panthers are signing wide receiver Trenton Irwin. Was he from the? Was
Bengals.
he still on the Bengals?
I thought he was on the Bengals.
He was definitely
agent.
on the Bengals, but I didn't know if that's where he just came from. Huh?
Yeah, I didn't know he was even a free agent. But yeah, Panthers get some help. He's probably going to be good too because Bryce Young's slinging it.
Yeah, if nothing else, he was a good special teamer for the Bengals. I remember that too. Patriots released wide receiver KJ Osborne, which I didn't even know. I forgot he was there.
Yeah, he hasn't
from
done
the
anything.
Vikings. Yeah,
hasn't done anything all year.
Yeah, showed flash in Minnesota, and then obviously nothing. In up there in New England.
No.
And then, in better news, maybe for Browns folks, Browns have released wide receiver Kadarius Toney.
Yep, muffed one punt, and he said, "You're gone."
He's out.
I don't know if he gets signed by another team, at least to an active roster.
Yeah,
I think
it's gonna be tough.
Days as an NFLer might be cooked. We might see him in the UFL in the spring.
We might, we might. So getting into our picks, how we did last week. Jared ended up 12-6, solid week. Cletus was 11-7, another solid week. I ended up 10-8. Kean and Carson were both 8-10.
Yeah, the past 2 weeks I've gone 8-11 and 8-10.
Yikes! You're on a slide a little bit. It's all right. We'll get back. It's gonna be a better week.
Yeah.
And our overall standings after this past week 14, Jared's 108 and 86. Cletus 139 and 113. Kean's still 132 and 120. I'm 128 and 124. And Carson is catching back up 125 and 127. So let's get into our picks for this week. Obviously no college because they're taking a little bit of a almost bye week, a little off week, getting ready for their college playoffs. So we'll start off with the Rams going to the Niners. Niners are favored 2.5 points. We're all riding with the Rams this week. hard not to after that incredible week they had last week.
Yeah, I don't know if this is just recency bias or what, because like in their careers, Shanahan I think is 10-5, 10-6 against McVay. It's something like that. I know Shanahan has the winning record, but I don't know if I can believe what the 49ers just put on display last week against a bad Bears team. I don't know. Rams could just fall off the face of the earth. But
They could, but if they did, like if we forget last week completely, I'm still riding with the Rams.
Yeah.
For what they had beforehand.
yes,
You know?
yeah.
But I have more faith in the Rams and McVay in this year,
Yeah.
at least. So we'll move into Commanders. Favored 7 are going to the Saints. Jared's on the Saints, but the rest of us are riding with the Commanders.
Yeah, I don't. If Derek Carr's not playing, I don't think
I'm not picking the Saints.
there's no way that Jaden Daniels only beats them by 7. It's going to be a blowout. I don't care that the Saints are home. Commanders are looking to get some mojo back. They're coming off their bye week and off a big win.
Huge.
Commanders blow them out, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. It's hard not to think that. They're too good. Brian Robinson's probably more healthy, and he's been a very, very solid running back for them. And yeah, Jaden Daniels is incredible. He's been having a super good rookie year this year.
Yes.
Bengals favored 4.5 points are going to the Titans in what feels like a fairly disrespectful line right now. So we're all on the Bengals. They're just way too many weapons. Their defense stinks, but the Titans' offense stinks.
Yeah.
So
Perfect matchup for the Bengals.
yeah, pretty much. Just throw it to Jamar Chase. That's worked pretty much all year. Well, they've lost a lot, but it should work against the Titans. Yeah.
Yes.
Offensively, it should work against a bad offense and defense. Bad team. Dolphins going to the Texans. Texans are favored 2.5 points, and I'm on the Texans with Jared. You guys are on the Dolphins. I'm taking the Texans coming off their bye week. I think they're refreshed, renewed. Their defense is sorted. And C.J. Stroud is ready to sling it all over the yard, especially to Nico Collins. I think Joe Mixon had a nice little rest off his week and is ready to keep hammering it home. And I think they'll be able to get the win by more than 2.5 against the Dolphins team they won last week, but they're still trying to find their footing. I think to find their footing of consistency.
Yes.
Okay,
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Dolphins cover and win this game, honestly. Dolphins are playing with a fire right now. I know that, like last week, it was a close game. Jets have not been good, but it was at the end of the day, it was a divisional game. These teams see each other a lot, and I just think that the Dolphins team are on the up and up. Yeah, the offense has looked different, but Tyreek Hill finally got going last week. Jalen Waddle got going last week. Jonnu Smith, for some reason, wasn't part of the game plan until overtime because they didn't really need him.
Yeah.
But
Devon Achane.
Devon Achane having
really
a career
good.
year in his second year in the league. I think the Dolphins, they're just hotter right now in this Texans team, and I'm riding with them.
Yeah, we'll see coming off
And
bye.
It's hot in Houston.
It is hot in Houston.
It's
so
hot
that-
in Houston. It's good for the Dolphins.
It is good for the Dolphins. Should be a pretty good game, honestly. The Chiefs, favored 4.5 points, are going to the Browns. I'm riding with Jared on the Chiefs. Can't trust the Brownies right now. Can't do it. This feels like one that I don't know. I just don't know. It's tough. I think that we've been waiting for a big Chiefs win, and you thought it was going to be last week against the Chargers, but I think the Chargers are a better team than the Browns, and
Yeah.
I think the Browns are kind of reeling a little bit right now because like Jameis started really, really good, had a really good game, beat Pittsburgh and all that. And that's kind of regressed since then, especially last week against the Steelers. They couldn't really get much going. And I think Chiefs are just waiting in the bushes to kind of have a bigger win. And by bigger, I mean at least more than a touchdown that they have barely done all year.
That's
year.
asking a lot.
It is asking a lot this year, but I'll ride at the Chiefs, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm with Carson and Cletus, and I know exactly what Cletus is going to say. Jameis just played really bad. So
Yep.
he is so due for a good game.
He is due because he's
And-
played bad a couple weeks now.
Yeah, so maybe the Chiefs win. Maybe they win by 1, 2, 3 points. That's probably going to happen because that's what the Chiefs do
what happens.
somehow.
Yeah.
But I think that Jameis is coming out here. He's at home. He's going to say some amazing prayers. He's going to get his team fired up.
Hopefully he is delivered from pick sixes.
Yes.
He was last week.
Yes, it wasn't a pick six, but he did throw some
Yeah,
picks.
he did throw a pick that was pretty close.
Yeah, but I just think that Jameis has had success moving this offense. Yeah, he struggled against the Steelers last week. But this Chiefs defense is nothing like the Steelers. Chiefs defense has been pretty darn bad, especially in the secondary. So I think Jameis, he lights him up for over 300 passing yards, covers this game, maybe even wins it, I hope. That would be fun.
I would be happy if he did.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a hedging my happiness pick
yes.
also.
Yeah.
Cowboys going to the Panthers. Panthers are favored here, 2.5 points. Who'd have thunk it? Beginning of the year, favored against the boys. You and me were on the Cowboys this week. The rest of the boys, Jared, Carson, and Cletus, are on the Panthers.
Yeah.
And I can see why, but
I'm kind of grossed out by the fact that their Panthers are favored.
I can't take them favored.
You never see that.
No, it's making my eyes do funky things. Like, it doesn't feel right.
Like we've all talked about, this is a newly revamped
Yes.
Panthers team, no doubt. They've been playing very well, but I still can't. I saw it we all saw Monday night.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons was pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
And you know who's going to get the brunt of that anger? It's going to be Bryce
Young. Yeah.
And I know that Bryce Young has been very good at maneuvering the pocket, but Micah Parsons, like from a pressures perspective, he's been playing like one of the best edge rushers in the NFL, especially the past few weeks. He is pissed off right now. And that's basically it. I think the defense keeps this one closer and keeps the Cowboys in the game, even though I expect Bryce Young to outplay Cooper Rush. I just think that Micah Parsons is going to be a handful in this one.
Yeah, I think so too, because I want to pick the Panthers bad.
Yeah, me
because
too.
the Panthers are proven to be better. But what also scared me is Chuba Hubbard's good and Adam Thielen's good. That's about the only reliability they have on that team on the offensive side right now.
Yeah.
And just that Cowboys pass rush, more or less, Micah Parsons, he scares me. And he's going to probably scare Bryce Young and at least get pressures on him and make him uncomfortable and have to force him to move and beat him that way. So, yeah, I can't pick the Panthers as favorites right now. If they were dogs, sure, I'd probably pick them.
Would.
Yeah, I'd probably pick them.
Probably
But
would.
them being favorites, I don't know. It helps that they're at home, but kind of. I don't know.
I just think that this Cowboys team has more experience. They're more used to winning games, even though Dak isn't the quarterback.
Yeah.
You still have playmakers in CeeDee Lamb.
Rico
Dowdle's been playing like crazy. I just think that, I can't take the Panthers' favorite.
There could very well be a special teams touchdown here in Kevontae Turpin.
Oh,
Kevontae
Turpin.
Yeah, that could happen.
Get that guy the ball more.
Yeah, get him the ball more, seriously. So, yeah, I can't take the Panthers as favorites right now, even though I love the team. Jets favored 3.5 points here, going to the Jaguars. Cletus is on the Jags. The rest of us are on the Jets because Jags stink.
It's a disgusting game, but
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers threw for 300 yards, baby. Is he unlocked now?
He installed some confidence in us last week. So.
And any Mac Jones-led offense does not install any confidence for me. So
0.
give me Aaron Rodgers over Mac Jones all day long. Even the pass catchers, I mean, all that the Jaguars have is literally Brian Thomas Jr. The Jets have Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams. You could throw it to Breece Hall. I guess Breece Hall isn't.
Braylon Allen.
We don't know if Breece Hall's going to play yet, but
We haven't
don't know. But
even Braylon Allen. You got Ty Johnson.
No,
that's Bill's guy.
Yeah. You're thinking of Isaiah Davis.
Isaiah Davis.
Like, both these defenses are bad. Give us the better offense in the Jets.
Yep, 100%. Ravens favored 14.5. 14.5, if you didn't hear me right, going to the Giants. Me and you were on the Ravens. The rest of the guys are on the Giants. But I could not bring myself to pick the Giants.
No,
they are
not
so
Drew
bad.
Lock.
And Lamar's on... He's in the MVP race this year, and that's the end of it. I mean, he could probably beat the Giants himself blindfolded with only one arm. Like
his left arm.
Yeah, his left arm. Yeah, he could probably beat them, in all honesty. They're just Ravens are too good. I don't know why this line's so big right now. Probably because they are so good, but I gotta ride with it. I don't care that the line's so big.
Agreed. I get that the Giants defense is not terrible.
Yeah, because Kayvon Thibodeau's back, and he made an impact
Burns.
last week. Brian Burns, but
no sexy Dexy, which means that Derrick Henry up the middle all game long.
Yeah.
And I can't trust the Giants offense to do anything right now under Drew Lock.
No. It's bad.
it's Malik Neighbors trying to pull the whole team, and it looks like a World's Strongest Man competition where he's like trying to pull a space shuttle or something.
Yeah.
With it strapped on his back.
Yeah. But instead of World's Strongest Man, it's Drew Lock.
It's true.
So, or Tyrone Tracy or whoever you want to put there.
Yeah.
Well, Malik Neighbors, yeah.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors is the one who's trying to pull the whole thing.
Yeah, so, and he's a kind of a little man to be pulling that much weight.
Yeah.
Unless we put him at quarterback and he just throws it to himself.
Oh.
I might be on the Giants.
Yeah. Dable should maybe cook something up like that.
Yeah. Guys, watch this.
Watch.
Colts, Broncos. Broncos are favored 4.5 points at home. We're all riding with the Bo Nix-led Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean, expect nothing less, but
Just I can't.
Broncos are a way more sound team
Yes,
right now.
that's exactly what I was going to say. They got it all put together.
Yep.
Everything kind of clicks. Everything is more organized, is working on a consistent basis. Colts, it's like they have some really great plays, and you
Yep.
don't know when they're going to happen. And then there's some
If
bad
they're gonna
plays.
happen,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's some bad plays that are probably going to happen. I got to pick the better coach team, more consistent, organized Broncos team over the Colts.
Yep, me too. Patriots going to the Cardinals. Cardinals are favored 4.5 points at home. Cletus is on his cards. The rest of us can't do it. We're all on the Patriots to cover here.
I think Patriots honestly might win this game.
They very well could. With how the Cardinals have looked,
I mean, all it took was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks for the Cardinals to kind of go back to what we all expected from them beginning of the season.
yeah.
Kyler Murray trying to pull his weight, and the defense just is not there. And
Yep.
Drake May, they come off a bye now. I swear the Patriots just
Patriots,
had a bye.
yeah.
Yeah, just had a bye. Rookies are usually better after the bye, historically. So Drake May wasn't even playing bad in the first place. I think Drake May comes out and has a win out of the bye here.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think he will. He's playing really good. So yeah, definitely give me the Patriots. Don't even think about it. The Buccaneers going to the Chargers. Chargers are favored 2.5 points. Jared's on the Bucks, but the rest of us are riding with the Chargers this week.
I'm thinking Ladd's going to be back. He practiced.
That's what I think.
He had limited practices all week last week and then was ruled out. But the fact that he practiced at all last week is a very good sign for his status this week.
Yeah, and I'm worried about Bucky not being there for the Buccaneers. And
this defense is way better than the Raiders' defense that the Buccaneers just gashed. Chargers' defense is one of the best in the league this year.
yeah, Chargers are on a roll right now, and I don't know if Baker's going to be able to stop that roll.
He's been making mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what scares me. Is he's making mistakes against all these other defenses, and those haven't been the Chargers yet. And the Chargers might just cash in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking they will cash in.
I think they're just going to play more disciplined football than Jim Harbaugh knows and loves. Like they might not have the playmakers that the Buccaneers do, but Chargers are they're gonna grind you down to a pulp.
Yep, agreed. The Steelers going to the Eagles. The Eagles are favored 5.5 points. Hammer it. Give us all the Steelers.
Yep.
They're just a really sound team right now also. They got it clicking on offense. George Pickens is doubtful, which is
already.
or as of right now,
Yeah,
it's
Tuesday.
not looking good on Tuesday here of this week, which isn't good. But the Eagles have not instilled much confidence in me on the offensive side. So defense is really good, which scares me. But I think right now the Steelers are showing more offensive ability to a point, and they just play close. They just play close games.
They do.
Like they play Mike Tomlin led football. They play good defense and they make stops. And their offense, George Pickens not being there really hurts. But I think they should be able to keep it within 5.5 points. I mean, they got the best kicker in the league.
Yeah.
Their running backs do enough. If Russ can get it to their pass catchers a little bit more, since George Pickens isn't there, it's going to be a little tougher. But I think they're able to cover here, if not win the game at Philly.
I was a little scared picking this game because I was thinking back, when was the last time Steelers lost? It was only 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They lost to the Browns, then had 2 wins against the Bengals and the Browns. So they're not exactly due for a shit game yet.
Right.
Because I was like, how long are the Steelers due for a shit game where they get blown out? But like, I don't know if I can trust Jalen Hurts to pass and have time to pass against the Steelers pass rush.
We just need to stop. Steelers just need to stop Saquon Barkley.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that we say that's it, but that was a huge task. But Steelers have been being halfway decent against run stuffing this year.
have.
They let up a few big ones here and there, but that's going to happen. Like, these are all NFL teams. But if we
Cam Hayward.
Yeah, Cam Hayward is having probably one of the best years of his career, and he's 35.
35?
Yeah, he's 35 years old.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's another jersey you don't really see a whole lot of.
I know.
Disrespect.
I know. Get me one of them.
One of the best defensive tackles in the league at 35 years old.
Yeah, he's just pummeling people right now.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. So that I have some confidence that they'll be able to hold Saquon under his normal 150 yards.
Just keep it close, Steelers.
Yeah, keep it close. And then maybe we'll get lucky and be able to kick a long field goal in the end and win by a couple. But, I think it'll be a pretty close, good game.
Should be a good one. We got some really good games this week.
Speaking of that, Bills are going to Detroit to play the Lions. Lions are favored 1.5 at home, which is completely fair because Lions are a juggernaut. We've talked about it. So, Carson, you are on the Lions.
Yeah. If this game was in Buffalo, of course, all day Buffalo. But
yes.
Jared Goff plays really, really good football at home. Jared Goff is a dome quarterback.
He is. He certainly is.
And he just plays good football. This Bills defense last week proved that they can be gashed. I mean, I know that the Lions defense also got gashed by the Packers, but we kind of knew that was a better offense coming in. I mean, obviously we knew that the Rams, they got Puka, Cooper. Like, we know that they were a good offense too, but they showed signs of inconsistency. Lions are just, everybody buys in on this team. I know that they're going to play good football on both sides of the ball. Bills, I know, are going to put up one hell of a fight. This should be a great game, but I just think that Jared Goff is a dome quarterback. Ben Johnson's going to cook it up, and I just trust the coaching more on the Lions side to make all the right moves to win this game, and what's probably going to be a close one.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
The Lions' home crowd is going to be crazy in a big game like this.
It's going to be loud, but I think that's just going to feed Josh Allen. Josh Allen is playing on a level like we haven't seen before.
MVP.
Yeah, by almost any quarterback. Like, we talked about all the stats, and I talked about some stats last episode, but so I got to ride with the Bills with Jared and Cletus here. I'm a big, big fan of the Lions. That's been clear, but this is like the battle of the juggernauts right now. I know the Bills just lost, so they aren't a true juggernaut. But when push comes to shove, if the Bills happen to stop, like, if the Lions decide to do one of their fourth down plays, it may come down to something like this: the Lions need a fourth down play, happen to not get it, and give it to Josh Allen at the 50-yard line with a minute to go or something like that.
It's over.
It's over. So I have more confidence in, if one of these teams needs to make a play, I have more confidence in Josh Allen than I do the Lions side of the ball right now.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to for me. I know this game's going to be close. It should be close. It should be an incredible game. Honestly, I don't care who wins. I love both these teams.
Yeah.
It's hard not to. I'm just hoping for a good game.
Yes.
Is really all that it comes down to. We move to Sunday Night Football. Packers favored 3 are going to the Seahawks. Cletus is on his Seahawks. The rest of us are on the Packers.
This game was
This
tough.
game's tough, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good line because Seahawks are home. Packers are still favored by 3. Packers, the reason why I picked them here, Packers just know how to win, especially late in the season. Seahawks, I feel bad like not trusting them. They're 8-5. They're leading the division now, but like I trust the Packers to be more fundamentally sound, consistent on a game-to-game basis than I do the Seahawks. Matt LaFleur knows how to get this team to win. They're going to show up offensively, defensively. It's not going to be a blowout. It might not be pretty at points, but Packers know how to win.
Yeah, I completely agree. Packers have proven a lot over these past few weeks specifically, and Josh Jacobs is still just he makes it a big point to me for picking the Packers. Is just because he's playing incredibly well right now, and he has been all year. He's been having a super great year. So
they lost by 3 in Detroit last week.
Yeah, Detroit, the juggernaut. So we'll see what happens, but I had to ride with the Packers on this one. It should be another pretty good game up there in
Sunday Night Football.
Seattle. Yeah, Sunday Night Football game. Should be a good one. Then we move to 2 Monday Night Football games this week as we're back to that fun stuff. First one we'll talk about, Bears are going to the Vikings. Vikings are favored 7. Carson and Cletus are on the Bears, but
What?
Yeah.
Cletus.
I know Cletus is riding with his boy Caleb Williams.
He did a complete 180 this season.
He hates this guy.
Dude, he said the Vikings back in like week 4 or 5. He's like, Vikings
Dead.
are the best team in
Yeah.
the NFL. And like that wasn't a bold take at that time. But
No.
now he's just backed off. And all the
Yeah.
Vikings have kept doing is just winning.
They just win 11-2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's picking the Bears.
That's crazy.
What is life? But Jared, me, and Kean are on those red hot Vikings. Yeah, Bears stink.
better team,
Vikings
I mean.
are hot. Yeah,
Better coaching, better players, better execution. It's
pretty much all of it.
7 points is disrespectful. In Minnesota, this team's rolling out. Stay out of
Yeah.
their way, man.
Yeah, this shouldn't even be close.
Sam Darnold came off the best game of his career.
Yes. Yeah, it shouldn't even be close.
No,
here.
I agree.
It should be a blowout.
Goal!
Skull! 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 All right, our other Monday Night Football game. The Falcons, favored 4.5 points, are going to the Raiders. Raiders trying to play spoiler. Jared's riding with the Raiders. Rest of us are riding with the Falcons. Feels gross. Feels gross.
It feels so gross.
Yeah, it feels so
Honestly,
gross.
if Aiden O'Connell was the quarterback of the Raiders, which I'm sounding like he might not be, I think I might go Raiders in this game to cover at least.
Yeah.
But I think that Kirk Cousins can actually finally outplay somebody, that being Desmond
Yeah.
Ridder.
Yeah.
And there's just too many playmakers on this team. and
Exactly.
a lack thereof on the Raiders. So even if the defense doesn't show up for the Falcons like has been expected, I think that the Falcons can at least blast them on offense, even if Kirk wants to throw more interceptions.
Yep, I completely agree. There's too many playmakers. Like the Falcons lost, but Bijan still had big plays, and like he's being used a little bit more here and there. And Tyler Algier had a touchdown, and there's just too many playmakers to bet against. To bet against right now. Yeah, I have to go with Falcons, even with that line. But they might make it interesting. Brock Bowers might have a big game, but they have no running game. Well, Sincere McCormick, I don't know. Too many question marks on the Raiders right now, and
Sincere McCormick would be the running back 3 on the Falcons, and wouldn't be close. He'd be deep down. He might be on the practice squad.
He would probably be practice squad guy.
I don't even think like the weapons that the Seahawks have through the air. I struggle to think of a starting corner on the Raiders. I know one corner on the Raiders because of just draft prep, but I know that DeCamarion Richardson is on that team. But other than that,
Yeah.
Other than that,
Nope.
I don't know if I. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a blank slate.
Who's starting at corner there?
I have no idea. It's tough sledding for those Raiders. It's not looking good.
No. That wraps it up, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hang on. I got names.
Oh, got names.
Oh, Nate Hobbs. Okay.
Oh, okay,
Nate
yeah.
Hobbs is their slot corner. Jack Jones. Yeah, I
from
forgot about
the Patriots.
that.
Yeah. Okay, so
Still
we do
doesn't-
know them.
Yeah, it doesn't give me any.
No, it doesn't instill
confidence.
confidence at all.
Sorry, Donald Mooney's having a career year.
He is. That wraps our Week 15 preview, our college football playoff talk, and all that good stuff, some of the news. So thank you guys for watching. Comment down below, like, subscribe, all that stuff. We appreciate you watching. And enjoy.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. And enjoy this week of football.
Yeah.
Should be a good one. Thanks for watching.
Hope you shoot some deer if you're in Pennsylvania, because the last day is Saturday, Friday. Damn it. I don't
Yeah.
know. Cletus? I don't know.
Looks like there's a Green Bay hat that's begging to be thrown at the camera. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next week.